Hey guys, this is Lindsay the Keeper. I do want to apologize for my video being late. A lot has been happening in real life, but I will try my best to try and be on track, so please bear with me for the next few weeks. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? Greetings, friends and fiends, and welcome to The Keep. I am Lindsay the Keeper, and it is my duty to protect this reality from eldritch horrors by reading tales from r/RPG horror stories. Having a sibling is sort of like a daily misadventure growing up. Sometimes you get into trouble together, and other times you are trying to get the other sibling in trouble to cover up your mess. You love them or you hate them, it depends on the situation. Of course, I do speak from experience given that I am the youngest of the bunch. However, if there is one thing that I do know from most siblings, it is that there is always one that has the protective side of them. You know what I'm talking about. It's the one where if someone is messing with your younger sibling to the point they get upset, the older sibling comes out of nowhere and puts the bullies in place. I know this is more cliche with anime and TV shows, but it is a rare moment that happens in real life. Of course, if you are one of my siblings, we don't get even, we get petty. In this story, Opie tells her tale about her running a game with a problem player that escalated to the point that her older brother had to step in and, well, taking care of business is the lightest term to explain that. Fair warning, this is a not safe for work story, so make sure you have your headphones on your lunch break, or whatever you need to do. I will let you know when the not safe for work will happen beforehand, and if you don't want to watch this video, I do understand. Please do not hesitate to check out any of my other videos. Now, sit back, relax, and cuddle up to your favorite Tindril as we read this horrifying tale. Enjoy! This is written by Lolit the Drow with the title, The Time My Brother Had to Fight a Problem Player. Hello readers, this is my first time posting on this site, so sorry if I say or do anything wrong. Also, please forgive my spelling and grammar, I have dyslexia. This is also going to be pretty long. Also, there are some spoilers for Lost Mine of Phandelver. I'm so sorry if I said that name wrong. So this story took place about 2 years ago. At the time, I was just starting out as a new GM and was one of the only other girls in the store. I was also 16 at the time. Now I want to give some backstory on my brother. First, he isn't a violent person at all. In fact, he is a big teddy bear with a beard to match. For reference, he is 6'5", 195 centimeters, and used to be a football player before he had a leg injury and picked up painting models as well as playing tabletop games. He was the one who got me into D&D. Now for the story. My brother had told me about a new group of players who were looking for a GM at his LGS. So later that day, we went down and he introduced me to the players. 2 of them were new to the store, another 16-year-old by the name of Max, not his real name, and his then-girlfriend Lily, who was a year older. The other one was Ben, who was 18. He was one of my brother's classmates who got him into Warhammer. We were all starting to talk about doing Lost Mine, and were making plans when the problem player showed up and asked if he could join. His name was Kevin. Now, my brother did know Kevin. He told me later in the car ride home that he was a power gamer, but at the time, I wanted to be nice, so I said that he could join before leaving. We made a plan to meet up next Sunday. So, from session 0 to 2, my brother and I got there about 30 minutes early. He helped me set up with everything and said if I needed help reading the rules or if I had questions about them, he will be over at the painting table. The LGS was split up into painting and playing rooms, though there was a window between them. So, the start time comes up, and Ben, Max, and Lily all got there on time, and I was helping them make their characters. Ben was a human fighter, Lily was an elf cleric, and Max was a human wizard. About an hour passes, and then Kevin shows up, saying he was sorry he was late, he got held up in traffic. However, he said he made his character the night before and that we could start. So I asked to see his character sheet. When I saw his sheet, I got very confused because 1, he wasn't playing a race in the player's handbook, a tabaxi bard, a rule I had said before because I didn't have all the books, and 2, all but one stat had an 18 in it. When I asked how he got all of them 18, he said he rolled up his stats, which I then reminded him that we were doing standard stat array. I asked him to please change these things before we start. After some arguing, he changed his race and stats to be a half-elf bard. Now, another rule I had at my table is I don't want to do romance or any sexual stuff because it made me uncomfortable, and I didn't want to roleplay that at the time. All of them nodded their heads, but Kevin seemed a bit more upset. Anyway, we started the game and session 1 was good. They made their way into the goblin camp and managed to kill the first room, but we had to leave after that. The next session, they killed the goblins and were making their way to the place. Then session 3 came up and they got into the town. All of them are following along with the story. However, Kevin's character says that he is going to go to the sleeping giant to get a drink. The players said they would follow after they get some gear from the shops. So after their shopping trip, I got back to Kevin and told him about the bar and the NPC, Grista, how she was serving some old miners and some ruffians. Because I didn't want to start the whole Red Brand ruffians fight just yet, I told them that they were just drinking and being a bit loud. Kevin's character, on the other hand, didn't pay much attention to this and went over to Grista and started to flirt with her. But in a way to get info about the quest, so I allowed it. I told him to roll. He got a 3. I told him that she shows her wedding ring and says that he wasn't really her type, but thanks for making her day. He then says, I used charm person to make her love me and kiss her. This is the part where the NSFW will start. This is your warning and I will put this marker on. Once it is over, the marker will be removed. I will also place a timestamp on the screen on where you can go if you want to skip that part. I said, I don't know if this spell works like that. Then I texted my brother who says it doesn't work like that. It only charms them as if you were being friendly and they would get a will save. He said, that's bullshit. It says charm person. It is sure word because my character has a 17 in charisma. I told him again, no, and at this point, he got really pissed off. He yelled at me to come outside because he wanted to talk with me. I told him no and asked him to please leave. He grabbed me and started to pull up out of my chair. My brother yelled at him to not touch me and back off. At this point, I was a bawling mess because he was grabbing me so tightly and his nails were digging in my arms so hard they started to draw blood. My brother said if Kevin didn't let me go, he would call the cops. After he said this, Kevin let go of me and punched my brother in the jaw. Now, being a football player, he knew how to take a punch, but also knew how to kick hard. He pulled back his good leg and kicked Kevin with his steel-capped boots right in the family jewels. After Kevin hit the ground and vomited, my brother told the LGS owner what happened and called the cops. My brother told his side of the story, plus there were cameras in the store. They saw and heard what happened. They escorted the crying Kevin down to the local station on charges of assaulting a minor and assaulting my brother. Later, we had to go to court, but thankfully, it was pretty much an open-shut case because of the security camera footage. Though, the lawyer that was on Kevin's side did try to make the case that my brother went too far, kicking him in the groin. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be laughing. That my brother went too far, kicking him in the groin and causing damage to them. We saw the photos, and yeah, it was not pretty. However, the judge and jury said it was self-defense and he did try to defuse the situation. They also then found him guilty of assaulting a minor and assaulting an adult. He got 14 months, and that was the last thing we heard from Kevin. In the aftermath of this, I haven't played D&D since then. One day I might, but I still get a bit anxious about the idea. However, I did get into playing tabletop war games at home with my brother. If you have made it this far, thank you for reading. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I might also ask my brother if I can't answer it. End of story. Despite the horrible situation Opie went through, this comment is the best comment I have seen from reading this story because it is so true. But let's get serious. There is a reason why Session 0 is so important. We give the players all the information about the game they need to know so they can make their character accordingly. In exchange, players give the DM additional information or questions so that the DM can make sure that the game is fun and safe for their player. Kevin, apparently, did not get the memo about this. Also, it is not a good idea, in general, to grab someone by the arm just to chat with them outside. This is a giant red flag that someone may be aggressive if provoked. Of course, even if someone is provoked, it doesn't make it a good excuse to do this action. After all, I am a firm believer of actions can have consequences. Kevin learned this the hard way. Now that the story is over and reality is still in a state of calm, I'm going to depart for now. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. If you have your own horror stories or some TTRPG randomness you'd like me to discuss, contact me through my email, Twitter, or subreddit. Until then, I will see you in the next video.